At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger. It is Monday morning. Boy, what an active night for some of us, right? Thunderstorms, heavy rainfall. There was even a flash flood watch for the Park Fire burn scar area. It was it's pretty heavy rainfall. But then there were others saying, what are you talking about? I didn't see anything, right? But you may have seen some of that lightning off in the distance, especially as you started going to those evening hours. So yeah, it turned out to be a nice and cool day out there yesterday as well. Did you get a chance to do anything this weekend? I know, we actually got to go out to the Sunflower and Zinnia Flower Festival out at Haas Historic Farms, and what a good time. Went out there with the family, the grandkids, and it was just a lot of fun and just a beautiful sight. It was beautiful weather, not too terribly hot out there, although once you kind of get in the sun, even though it's only like 75, 76, it can certainly get a little warm out there. But what did you all do this weekend? Anything fun? Anything exciting? But yeah, I mean, of course, the big headline was that rain. So let's get you to the quick cast. Many of you just kind of checking in to want to see what's going on here for the day today. And we start off with Krueger's quick cast. So let's start off taking a look at that radar from last night. There you can see the area of green is where we did see that flash flood watch. Now that flash flood watch was mainly just for the burn scar area of the Park Fire. Why? But of course, because we could be looking at mudslides and debris flows around that area. Some of that heavy rainfall that we did see in the area. A lot of lightning strikes, and then as you can see out there this morning, right now, things are certainly a lot more quiet out there here for today, at least to start off the day, right? So let's go and take a look at the current radar and what we saw here with the rainfall totals. So again, some of you, decent amounts of rainfall. Some of you saying, wow, it was pretty active. Others saying, what are you talking about, right? Places like Chico, Oroville, you didn't really see any rainfall. And even the coast didn't really get to see much rain, as well as the inland areas. Places like Hoop, only about 200s. But Reading Airport, 6,500, 7 inches of rainfall. Almost 7/10 of an inch of rainfall in Corning. Bernie, the Bernie area, let's just put it that way, that rain gauge is actually outside of Bernie, but that just kind of gives you a general idea of about 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. 300s out in El Turris and Wairika, about 600ths of an inch of rainfall. Right now, boy, I tell you what, you can feel those cooler temperatures. You're stepping outside this morning, you may even need a light jacket, especially if you're in the mountains. Temperatures 30s and 40s there. There you can see about 50 though, still in Bernie, so still a bit mild there. 51 for Bernie, and temperatures in the low 50s right now for the coast. You can see the visibility looking pretty good out there this morning. Let's take a look at Elk Country, north of Trinidad. Not even seeing much in the way of fog out there this morning, turning out to be an absolutely gorgeous start to the day. And really, despite the fact that, oh my gosh, is that our buddy here? Is that the seagull that we see come? I mean, every morning it seems someone just fly. That seagull, right before I put this on, just flew on there. I don't know, maybe it knows it's Coffee with Krueger and wants to be on the show here. I don't know, that looks a little different. But look at that beautiful scenery there, right? So we've got just a few clouds out there, just kind of left over from what we saw yesterday, but it's a dry start to the day. And really, I think the North Coast, the coast in general, and the inland areas we'll probably be looking at mainly dry conditions out there for today. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on this morning as you're heading out the door. First of all, of course, temperatures are going to be cooler than we've seen for quite a while. It is very nice. Temperatures in the 40s for most of the higher elevations. Now, we will start to see some showers begin to kick in for northeast Modoc County through the morning hours. What's going to happen is we're going to be on the back side of the main storm system, and we're getting on the back side of that upper level flow, which will be basically from the northeast to the southwest. Now, with that said, as the storm system begins to shift eastward, what that's going to do is bring the rain eastward along with it as well. So most of the rain, I think, will be in Modoc County in the eastern mountains, most of the eastern mountains. Now, there's still going to be some activity for Siskiyou, Trinity County, maybe even the valley, seeing a stray shower later today. But overall, I don't expect to see much. So let's take a look at futurecast, show what I'm talking about. So there's a noon hour. You see how it's all coming in from the northeast, coming to the southwest. So Modoc County seeing some decent rain out of this. By noon, we're seeing it approaching northeastern Lassen County, but everyone else is fairly dry still at the noon hour. We take you through the afternoon, 5, 6 o'clock this afternoon, and you can see that rain kind of pushing through, but most of it is going to be to the east. Now, what you're seeing here is the potential through the afternoon, late afternoon, Siskiyou, Trinity County, and even the valley could maybe see a stray shower as well. But tonight, most of it is still mainly east of the valley. All right, so here's what we have in store for us today. Could we see a stray sprinkle, light shower this afternoon in parts of the valley? Sure. Is it going to be a lot? No, it's not going to be nearly what we saw yesterday, especially for Redding, Cottonwood, Red Bluff, Corning, right? That's where we saw the heavier rainfall, the thunderstorms, but that won't be the case today. Now, I've got lightning strikes as far west as western Siskiyou County. I don't think it's going to be that far west. I think most of it will probably be in Modoc County, eastern Siskiyou County, the eastern mountains east of the valley, so places like Fall River Mills, Bernie, maybe Shingletown, Manton, could see a thunderstorm east of that as well. Maybe Paradise getting caught up in a stray shower, but most likely no thunderstorms there. And then as I mentioned, maybe a stray shower, but really it's going to be a fairly dry day even for the valley today, with temperatures in the low 70s. Now, we are going to be looking at maybe a stray shower for parts of Trinity County, but also fairly dry for you in Trinity County as well. And then for the North Coast, yeah, I think you're going to be dry pretty much all day long today. Most of it will be to the east of the North Coast. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook. So again, remember, there's always a story behind the 7-day outlook. You look at this and you see that, you go, wow, look at those thunderstorms for Wednesday. To tell you what, the best chances over the next 3 days will be Wednesday, but even then, it's not a large chance for thunderstorms Wednesday, which we'll get into that in our deeper dive forecast in just a bit. Now, after Wednesday, for the valley, temperatures will start to increase. We're in the mid to upper 80s by Thursday, Friday, and in the low 90s by Saturday, Sunday. Now, for the coast, I think your best chances for any measurable rainfall will be tomorrow evening and Wednesday morning. So it'll be kind of a Tuesday night, Wednesday morning event. Otherwise, dry for today, dry even most of the day tomorrow, and dry most of the day Wednesday. Again, it's mainly in the overnight hours. That's also the case inland. Now, for Weaverville, yeah, okay, you may see an isolated shower. And then as we go into Tuesday night into Wednesday, maybe a chance for some more showers. But thunderstorms are going to be a slim chance there. For the coast, inland, and for Weaverville, Trinity County, warmer temperatures and drier by the end of the week. Not quite the 90s, although inland could get up to 90 degrees by Sunday, but you're getting the idea it will be closer to normal for this time of the year by the end of the week. Now, there's a bit of a different story here for Siskiyou County and Modoc County. So Siskiyou County, yeah, maybe a chance for showers, thunderstorms. But as you start heading into central western Siskiyou County, the chances are going to be slimmer. Everyone's going to see the break on Tuesday. By Tuesday night into Wednesday, a chance for some more showers, especially for the first half of the day for Mount Shasta on Wednesday. By Wednesday afternoon, most of it's gone. Same story for Alturas there on Wednesday. And then Susanville, check this out. Now, you got the thunderstorms today. You got the thunderstorms again on Wednesday. But even on Thursday, because that storm system is going to take its time moving to the east. And I think some of it could linger into the first half of the day on Thursday for Susanville, meaning a chance for showers, thunderstorms there. But Bernie, for example, on Thursday, you'll be dry on Thursday. But then everyone, by the end of the week this weekend, looking at warmer conditions and drier conditions as well. All right, before we get to, let's take a look at some of the cameras out there. And before we do that, we're going to take a quick look at the fires. And again, we're in that time of the year, even though we saw a lot of rain, all that good stuff, we still need to remind ourselves that there are still some active fires out there, such as the Boise fire, 91% contained. That's pretty much been the case all last week. That's the case again. Now, over the last few days, I've noticed, looks like CAL FIRE dropped the containment in the Park Fire from 99% to 98%. Not exactly sure what happened there, but still very good containment nonetheless, and we're not really seeing a lot of activity coming from that fire. Now we take a look at the Bear Fire, now up to 88% containment as of last night. So kind of looking at some of the categories when we're looking at fire danger. Not really too concerned about the winds today. They may pick up here. later on this afternoon, but overall it's mainly going to be off to the east. But the thing is, it's going to be much cooler out there, and look at the humidity levels. Even for the valley, we're looking at humidity levels over 30%. And of course, everywhere else in the 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, just depending on where you are. But you get the idea, good humidity, right? Because we have that storm overhead. It's limited in moisture. I know that sounds crazy because we did see some heavy rainfall in some areas here, but that's why we're not seeing widespread rainfall out there. Lake Oroville, there you can see it looks like things are dry out there this morning, and of course some sun is coming through. Taking a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay, you can see the mainly clear skies out there this morning. Some of those puffy cumulus clouds there, even in the reflection of the lake. Taking a look at Main Street, Chico, that looks a little still. Maybe that's, I don't know, is that a freeze frame there, or are we going to see that traffic move anytime soon? Well, let's take a look and see how it looks on Highway 99. Well, yeah, it looks like it's having a hard time, but looks like a fairly recent image. Looks like traffic is flowing smoothly there. We take a look at Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive, and this is in Reading. Looks like traffic is flowing smoothly there this morning. And by the way, before we get to that, let's see how everybody's doing out there this morning. We've got people checking in. We've got Rowdy Kelly saying good morning. Clear morning in Arcata. It's nice. You know, we did see that beautiful shot there out there at Crescent City, and of course Elk Country just north of Trinidad, turning out to be gorgeous there. Bill Pyatt is saying, I can't believe how much it rained overnight. Yeah, it was definitely some heavy downpours. Those thunderstorms did get pretty intense for some of even the valley locations, but even some of the mountains did see some decent rain. But really, when we look at the rainfall totals, kind of interesting seeing that the majority of it was actually in the valley. We've got Delinda Lynch saying, happy Monday morning to you all. We got Curtis Brown saying good morning. The thunderstorm stayed here for about an hour and a half, measured about 0.14 of an inch of rainfall. So you are west of Red Bluff, so that makes sense that more rain would have been to the east of you out at the Red Bluff Airport. I think there was over 0.6 of an inch of rainfall out in the Red Bluff Airport. Yeah, so there you go. I'll tell you what, now we can get to this. Let's get to Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, where we got to meet a not so typical looking skunk. It's a little bit smaller, has a little bit of a different coat of fur, and a different pattern on its fur as well. So check this out, Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Hi everyone, Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. This is Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. We got Adrian from Turtle Bay Exploration Park, and we have got Squirt here. Now this is a skunk. Now, typically you think of the skunk with that one stripe, right? So we've got something going on here that's a little different, right?
Yeah, so there's actually several different species of skunks here in the United States. This is actually the smallest of all skunk species.
Tiny.
He's a spotted skunk versus we have a striped skunk here in the valley. Spotted skunks are actually found all over the country. There's several subspecies of them, but people don't see them very often because they are very secretive. In fact, around here they live up in the mountains. He was found in the Trinity Mountains by a person who thought that he needed help. He actually has two siblings. He lives with his brother, Beetle, and then his sister actually lives at Sequoia Park Zoo. Her name is Boo. So unfortunately, they were deemed non-releasable because she was trying to help them, and she got them too used to people.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're here with us. He's been here since 2020. And spotted skunks are pretty cool because they do have that the spot pattern. They do spray just like other skunks.
Okay, wonder about that,
Not sure exactly how far compared to the striped skunk because they're about the quarter of the size. But they do spray. The cool and unique thing about their defensive behavior, you know how Blossom does stomping and she'll scrape? These guys do handstands. So when they go to warn predators, they stand on their front feet with their tail and their rear end up, and that makes them appear larger. because they are pretty small creatures, and there's lots of animals that would love to have them as a meal at night. So spotted skunks, we named them because, well, they squirt. Their stinky odor.
Oh, yes, there you go.
And his brother Beetle, because they eat a lot of beetles and bugs in the wild.
Okay.
Just like all skunks, they're very important for rodent control, for bug control. They help to keep the environment nice and clean and safe. They eat all sorts of different things. They are omnivores, just like the striped skunk, so they do eat a little bit of fruit and veggie or berries seasonally as well.
Now, of course, the big question is, because I know that you take out, there's some kind of gland,
There
right?
is. So they have scent glands similar to what your dog's scent glands are, actually. Some people have to get their dog scent glands expressed because they get clogged. Well, these guys have enlarged scent glands. The skunks each have 2. And so when they go to spray, there's a muscle, a very strong muscle around that contracts. It's very similar to the rattlesnakes and how they inject their venom. And so when they were babies, before they got too big, we did remove those scent glands before the muscle fully grew around the gland.
Now, that's not really impacting them all, I mean, it's not like declawing your cat, for example,
No, it really doesn't do much. If he got scared, he would still try to spray. Physiologically, he can't, but there's no problem with him not having a scent gland.
Haha, you can't spray me. No, just kidding. Okay, that was just mean. That was just full on mean, and I will never do that again. All right, anything else you can think of?
I love these guys. They have so much character.
Yeah.
If you saw the Walk in the Wild side show this summer, you might have seen them in their little charade. Squirt was the one that ran across the stage, and we said, no, wait, come back. And then Beetle's a really good climber because they do spend a lot of time up in the trees. And so Beetle did the climbing routine up the rope because Squirt just has a little problem with climbing.
Oh boy, Squirt. But you're still awesome, and we love you.
He
so
is.
We certainly appreciate you, Adrienne, for taking the time to do this.
you.
And we appreciate you, Squirt. I'm sure you're not complaining too much because you've been eating this whole time.
Yeah.
How do they stay so thin? They're always eating, it seems like.
They have a very fast metabolism.
I can imagine, Well, thank you again, thank you, and we will see you next time for another Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Yes, so Squirt was just a fun little animal there, and yeah, definitely small, and didn't have to worry about Squirt spraying me, but that was kind of fun here. We have someone checking in this morning, Catherine Schmidt, let's go ahead and take a look at what Catherine has to say. Good morning, had a wonderful hike on Mount Shasta. It was perfect weather. Glad the storm held off. Thanks, Mike, for your forecast. Was right on. Good, good. I remember you asking that you did have the hike, and I said, hey, I think it should be okay. And we eventually, I think we saw some thunderstorms around the Mount Shasta area, but they didn't see as much rainfall. We'll take a look at some of those rainfall totals. Yeah, Mount Shasta City did get to see some rainfall out of this. Not as much heading up to the north either, but overall it was definitely a welcome sight. We saw the rain, we saw the thunderstorms, and of course we did see some cooler temperatures, much cooler temperatures. Now there is a lot of rain associated with these thunderstorms, so hopefully we don't have any new fires that were sparked from the lightning strikes that we did see. And we're going to take a look here in a second just what the look like as far as the amount of lightning strikes that we did see here. But before we get to our deeper dive forecast, let's talk about our sponsor, which is Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. So again, I want to thank Wind River for their support of Weather NorCal and Coffee with Krueger in general. So glad you could join us this morning. Take a look at the radar out there right now, and as of this morning, you can see we're just not seeing much activity out there right now. It's fairly dry. We do have some rain to the north and west. That's going to be kind of moving its way down to the south and west here. So let's take a look at the radar here. For some reason, do we have the, I wanted to show you the animation. Let me, because that's what the beauty of live here. We can do that here. Some reason, the animated loop did not want to show up for me. So I'm going to bring this one down here. Give me a second here. We'll get you going here. We'll take a look at that because it's kind of interesting taking a look at where most of that rain was. And there it is. All right, so you can see we saw a lot of that rain. You can see how a lot of it was really in the valley here. This right here was a flash flood watch for the Park Fire burn scar area. Now you can see right now, again, see how that's all approaching, moving down to the south and west. Now we'll take a look. Yeah, we did see by the evening hours that making its way to Siskiyou County. So yeah, if you had a hike, in Mount Shasta. It was good for the first half of the day, but by the late afternoon, early evening, it was pretty active there. But again, things have quieted down for pretty much everyone. So we did take a look at some of the rainfall totals. Yeah, so Etna, Mount Shasta didn't see a ton of rainfall, but you can see around Etna, not too far, 4,600 of rainfall. But look where the bulk of the rain was. For the valley and even to the north of that, say just kind of west of Lakehead, for example. But you could see over half of an inch, close to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall in some areas here for the valley. Out towards the Boerne area, this is a rain gauge that's outside of Boerne, but it just kind of put Boerne in there as kind of a general vicinity of where we did see some decent rain there, but not as much in the north and east. No rain reported over many of the parts of the eastern mountains, just a little bit of rain out along the coast here, and even the inland areas. Weaverville, Hayfork, you didn't see much rainfall out of this, although Hayfork, Weaverville did get to see about 1/1500ths of an inch of rainfall, so it just depends where you are. But once again, this is kind of the very interesting that the main bullseye of rain was kind of in the north end of the valley. But that's got the cooler air associated with it as well, so our temperatures right now only in the mid to upper 50s for the valley. Gorgeous. You might even need that light jacket as you're heading out the door this morning. Temperatures mainly in the 40s, even some 50s for some of the higher elevations. Temperature about 38 degrees in Chester though. 52 in Hoopa, 53 in Crescent City, and right now about 51 degrees in Eureka. So yeah, I mean, definitely a cool start to the day even for the valley. So let's take a look at our weather headlines. It's going to be cool and unsettled to start the week, and at least through the middle, if not even into Thursday for some areas. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, we do have a mixture of sun, clouds, showers, and thunderstorms through Wednesday. That's essentially what cool and unsettled means. This is a phrase, by the way, that I typically use a lot during the winter season. So when I say cool and unsettled, this is what I mean. That mixture of clouds and sun and a few showers from time to time, and maybe even a few thunderstorms in there as well. So that's through Wednesday and maybe even Thursday for parts of the eastern mountains. The warming trend this week, so yes, it's starting off cool, and it will be a gradual increase. So still cool tomorrow, still cool Wednesday, but we'll really notice those temperatures increasing by the end of the week, and in particular this upcoming weekend. In fact, the 90s will return by this weekend for the valley. So right now the winds, they're not that bad. A little breezy for parts of the coast here. We go into this afternoon here, and you can see some breezy conditions off to the east. We take you into your Tuesday, a little breezy in some spots here, but no major wind events. Still pretty breezy, gusty here for Modoc County and the eastern mountains. We take you into your Wednesday, and you can see the winds, not all that strong, although still pretty gusty along the coast. So when we look at the humidity levels, hey, it's looking actually pretty good out there. We've got it over 30% in the valley. We've got it over 30% on Tuesday for the valley. But even though there's going to be a chance for showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday, as we get in the second half of the day, the main storm system will be down to our south. So that may allow our humidity levels to drop a little bit, but still decent humidity levels, keeping our fire danger on the low side, at least through the middle of the week. So the area of low pressure that brought us the showers and thunderstorms yesterday is still sitting and spinning right on top of us. Now, a lot of times you might be thinking, well, the storm is right on top of us. Why isn't it raining? Well, a couple of things to think about. You have the main area of low pressure right here. It's on the east side of that low pressure system that we typically have the most amount of instability. This is where we have what's called diffluence or divergence, by divergence here, but this is the area that we typically see the most amount of showers and thunderstorms. Now, a lot of times too, you will get on the back side of that low pressure system, showers kind of wrapping around, but as you start getting on this side of that flow, it starts to dry out. All right, so that's getting a little complicated. Let's talk about this area of low pressure. So where it's going to be today is going to put us within that vicinity of Modoc County, eastern mountains, around that area of low pressure, seeing the showers and thunderstorms developing. Now, depending on how quickly this moves to the east, the chances for showers will diminish as you start heading west of Modoc County and west of the eastern mountains, in particular west of Lassen County and Plumas County. That being said, I think the valley later today could see a stray shower, an off chance for a thunderstorm. As you start hanging into central Siskiyou County, parts of Trinity County, maybe a stray shower. But I think the north coast will be dry today. But as this storm system moves out, we'll be between systems. And we'll be dry on Tuesday with that next system. And I'll take you back up. I'll take you back to that map here. Let's see if we can get you back to it. There it is. This is what's going to be moving in on Wednesday. So the transition between this moving out and this moving in on Wednesday, we'll see a break between those, giving us some dry conditions for everyone on Tuesday. So for today, I'm in pretty good agreement with the Storm Prediction Center, keeping most of the thunderstorms in Modoc County, in Lassen and Plumas counties. But to the west of that, again, just maybe a stray shower, off chance for a thunderstorm for parts of the valley. Tomorrow, that's the break I was talking about on Tuesday. And then it might be overdoing it here, but we could be looking at the potential for thunderstorms here for parts of the valley southward and to the east. As we go through the day on Wednesday, the chances will diminish, but we could see some morning activity here for some of those areas. So let's take a look at Futurecast. Let's walk you through the timing of all this. This morning, we're seeing dry conditions for most of us. What we'll start to see is these showers and thunderstorms developing through the morning hours to around noon. We're seeing the heaviest rainfall in northeastern Modoc County and even making its way into Lassen County. But to the south and west of that, it's dry. Look at that, even some sunshine for the inland areas and along the coast. We're still seeing clouds. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy skies in the valley. But if we get enough clearing too, keep in mind that we don't necessarily just need this disturbance to move through to bring us to showers and thunderstorms. We can get what we call convective showers and thunderstorms developing. And I think that could be the potential depending on how much clearing we do see in the valley. So we take you into about 6 p.m. Again, see where most of the thunderstorms are? That's what the Storm Prediction Center is showing them. However, you'll see that some of those are getting close to parts of the valley, maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm for parts of central and eastern Siskiyou County, and even parts of Trinity County. Could see a little bit of activity as well. Could we see any of that making its way into the valley? It's not out of the question, but I think we'll be dry through a good portion of the day today in the valley, but late afternoon, early evening, maybe a stray shower, especially for the north end of the valley. Redding, Red Bluff, Corning. To the south of that, the chances get a little bit slimmer, although later tonight that may change. So you can see even 10 o'clock tonight, most of it is still in Modoc County, Lassen, and Plumas counties. To the west of that, it's looking fairly dry for tonight. And we go into tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning that is, there may be a stray shower for parts of extreme eastern Modoc County, extreme eastern Lassen County, but for the most part, things are dry. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, but clearing skies for many of the inland areas and Trinity County. We take you to about noon on Tuesday, partly to mostly cloudy skies, but dry for the first half of the day on Tuesday. And really, even Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, fairly dry, but we'll begin to see the beginning phases of that next storm system coming in, giving us a chance for some showers. So as it pushes to the south, we will see it for the morning hours. You know, we're seeing it kind of parts of the coast. We're seeing it for Siskiyou, Modoc County in the early morning hours tomorrow. And then it looks like maybe enough instability for some thunderstorms east of the valley. But you'll see how we're seeing some kind of spots near the valley. So Wednesday morning, we could see a stray shower or thunderstorm for parts of the valley. Then as that low pressure shifts to the south, we're seeing less activity to the north, even by noon. But we're seeing more showers and thunderstorms, especially east of the valley. But even parts of the valley could see a stray shower or thunderstorm as we go through Wednesday afternoon. There's 5 p.m. Once again, the main area of low pressure is shifting down to the south. So by the time we get into Thursday, most of us will be looking at dry conditions. Now, how much rain can we expect out of this? Well, again, take this with a grain of salt. I do think we could see some measurable rainfall for the valley, but most likely less than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. Most of the rain, I think, will be off to the east. We could be measuring it in 1/2 an inch to even over an inch in some spots here for parts of the eastern mountains. But in particular, where exactly that will be, we can't say that for sure. But we do know that that's where the bulk of the rain will be, and we'll be looking at much less rainfall. Most of this that you're seeing here for the coast and inland, that will be tomorrow night into Wednesday morning as that storm system, next one, kind of rides down to the south. All right, so what does that look like for our precipitation outlook? Well, once we get past what we're seeing here the next few days, we actually have a much drier pattern moving in. So the Climate Prediction Center is putting us in a drier than normal category. So let's talk about the overall trend, and you can kind of see what's going on. This is the area of low pressure that's over us right now, and it was over us yesterday. So remember I was talking about, you kind of take this right here. That's where we're seeing most of the activity, but we are seeing it wrap around. So we saw that on Futurecast. But this is also the source of the cooler air that we're seeing. A nice pocket of cooler air over us, keeping our temperatures well below normal for this time of the year. Now, as that moves on out, we're seeing a break on Tuesday. So this is moving out. This will be moving in by Tuesday night into Wednesday. But you see how by Wednesday, second half of the day on Wednesday, this area of low pressure is now way down to our south. So it's really going to be the first part of the day on Wednesday, and then by Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, it's down to our south. That will eventually kick itself off to the east, and then as we go into Thursday, as we go into Friday, we start to see that move on out. Warmer air, excuse me, warmer air begins to move on in, and temperatures increase by the end of the week and into the weekend. And there you can see as we go into Sunday, there's that warmer air. However, this ridge of high pressure is having a hard time building because we've got this storm and cooler air to our north flattening out that ridge. So that is a very good thing, because if that wasn't there, we'd have a big ridge of high pressure in place, and we could be quite possibly talking about triple-digit heat. But for now, it's looking like temperatures will be right around normal in the low 90s. But that being said, the Climate Prediction Center is putting us in this warmer than normal category. That's just showing that, you know, the normal high for the valley in particular is low 90s. We'll be looking at low to maybe some mid 90s in there. So it's not going to be a major heat wave. It'll just be warmer. And you can see the gradual increase in the temperature. So nice and cool here through Wednesday, right? We're talking 70s, but you see how it's just kind of ticking upward. By the end of the week, we're in the mid to upper 80s. By the weekend, around 90. And then by early next week, we're right around normal, 93, 94 degrees. So yeah, it's getting warmer. Now, these numbers are going to change as we get closer to that time frame, but you get the idea. Feel pretty confident that we're going to be looking at that warmer weather here by the weekend and into early next week. I talked about this last week. I'm going to talk about it again because maybe you didn't watch last week. But a lot of times over the last few weeks, people have been asking, are we done with the triple digits? And the answer to that is most likely, but it has happened before, and I've seen this many, many times that I've lived in this area for over 25 years, and that is a lot of times we get these late season heat waves that last for a day or two, nothing major, but it puts us in the upper 90s and lower 100s for late September and even sometimes into October. In fact, I looked at some of the climate data here for Reading since 1893. The latest we've hit 100 degrees in the season, in the year in particular, was October 14th, both in 1991 and 2022. Both those temperatures were just a little over 100 degrees. It didn't last for very long, and if we do see anything even this year, it won't last for very long. That's pretty normal. But for me to confidently say, all right, we're done with the triple digits, I can't say that, because this right here is a month out. Who would have guessed, I bet you, that if we were to look at the climate data for that we weren't looking at temperatures like that in mid-September. So again, it looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any major heat waves down the road, but that's not to say 2-3 weeks from now that we might see a ridge of high pressure build in and we'll see those hot temperatures again. Only time will tell. But as of right now, no major heat waves are in the forecast. Here are your wave heights for today. They're getting pretty high out there, but the good news is those waves should start to drop as we take you into your Tuesday afternoon. So with that said, looking at those winds from the north at 20 to 25 knots, there is a small craft advisory here for today. Speaking of today, let's take a look at your neighborhood forecast for Trinity County. Beautiful. Mid 70s there, low 70s out towards Highway 3 and Coffee Creek and Trinity Center. Douglas City about 76 degrees. Your Trinity County neighborhood forecast to the south. 67 in Peanut, 69 degrees for Forest Glen, cool and unsettled through Wednesday, drying out entirely by Thursday and warming up by the end of the week and this weekend. Your North Coast neighborhood forecast, mainly dry today, dry through Tuesday, but by Tuesday night into Wednesday, I think everyone along the North Coast, the coast and inland will see that chance for showers. Otherwise, really not a lot of rainfall for the North Coast here with this cooler and unsettled weather pattern. But what it will be is cooler. Willow Creek, a high of 81, 79 in Hoopa, and we've got those mid-60s for most of us along the coast, although Smith River about 71, Gas Key about 72, and 82 degrees for Orleans. Let's take a look at your Siskiyou County. By the way, I just want to show that. You may have been like, what? What are you talking about? Orleans is kind of just in that very eastern fringe of where we might see the potential in parts of Trinity County to maybe see a stray shower or thunderstorm, but don't count on that. Don't count on that at all, I would say. I would say mainly just dry conditions with maybe a stray shower for places like Orleans. All right, let's take a look at Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Highway 96 corridor, temperatures mid to upper 70s there. I-5 corridor mainly in the 60s, although Hornbrook about 71. By the way, do want to mention too, also, central western Siskiyou County, the chances of thunderstorms are going to be pretty slim today. Most of it will be in eastern Siskiyou County, but for Scott Valley, we've got another chance going into Wednesday before warming up by the end of the week. So places like Weed, Mount Shasta, Dunsmuir, eastward, yeah, I think we could see a chance for thunderstorms later on today. But I think most of it will be in Modoc County and to the south of that in Lassen and Plumas counties. Otherwise, dry for Tuesday, cool and unsettled through Wednesday, warming up and drying out by the end of the week. Here's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Of course, the thunderstorms today break on Tuesday. More showers and thunderstorms possibly on Wednesday. Much cooler out there today as well. Temperatures only reaching the mid to upper 50s. For your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, showers and thunderstorms, especially this afternoon. Dry on Tuesday. We've got isolated showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday for Bernie, right? But as we head to the south, take a look at this. Places like Chester, places like Lassen Park could see a lingering thunderstorm, especially for Thursday morning, for the first half of the day on Thursday. Then by Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, it will start to dry out and begin to warm up. And that's also the case for places like Susanville, right, through Thursday. But Paradise, you might see an isolated shower today. I think you'll be dry tomorrow, and then maybe, just maybe, an isolated thunderstorm here for Wednesday afternoon. And then it looks like we dry things out and warm things up by the end of the week there. Let's take a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south. Temperatures low 70s. Absolutely gorgeous. I tell you what, I think there's a very good chance you will be looking at fairly dry conditions out there for today. But late this afternoon into the evening, okay, sure, there could be a stray shower. Off chance for a thunderstorm. Dry Tuesday, maybe some more showers and possible thunderstorms Wednesday, drying out and warming up by the end of the week. Same story up to the north. You can see about the city of Shasta Lake, about 71. I'd say by late afternoon, early evening, maybe a stray shower. Off chance for a thunderstorm today, but mainly just in the form of a sprinkle or light shower. Dry Tuesday, and then more possibilities for thunderstorms on Wednesday, with drier conditions on your Thursday. Upper 80s by Friday, around 90, still below normal, by the way, by Saturday and Sunday. For your first day of fall is on Sunday. That happens sometime within the 5 o'clock in the morning hour. What exactly was the time on that? I checked it earlier this morning. The autumnal equinox, as it's known. I forgot the exact time. I have the time here. Let me check it out here before you go. At 5:43 in the morning. So really, it'll pretty much be early in the morning when we're going through and transitioning from summer to fall. Oh, can you believe it? It's almost fall already. That's just crazy. All right, folks, that is going to do it for us today. Let's take a look to see what everybody's going on. Oh, man. Thank you for reminding Delinda. Here's what I'm going to do. You're talking about, that just slipped by me. That completely slipped by me. I didn't even know it was happening. See, I'm not all knowing. I don't know everything all the time. But apparently there is a partial eclipse. When? My goodness. When is the partial eclipse? Partial lunar eclipse. Tuesday. That's not looking good. Let's see what it's saying here. The full moon closer to the autumnal equinox, known as a harvest moon, late September. Yeah. That's a tough call. That really is. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Futurecast and see what it looks like for Tuesday night. Let's get to it. Let's go to Futurecast here. Hold on one sec. But I mean, it's not looking 100% promising. Here, let's take that out here. Let's get you to it. So we're not really focusing on the rain or anything like that. So here's Monday night, 9 p.m. You see how the clouds are just kind of lingering, although early in the morning, and see there's a little bit of clearing. Boy, we're borderline. Oh man, we are borderline where we might get to see the eclipse. Now it looks like Trinity County, Western Siskiyou, parts of the inland areas could see some clearing. I mean, I think all bets are off for Modoc, Lassen, Plumas counties. But as you head into the valley, it's borderline where we're seeing some clearing. So you might be able to get enough clearing to see that eclipse for a short period of time. The question is exactly what time of the night. That's a good question. Let me see if I can find that exact time. Partial lunar eclipse. There we go. Let's see what we've got here. That's the wrong day. Man, you got to be careful sometimes. Look, you know, when you Google stuff here. Let's see. I don't see a particular time. You'll have to forgive me because I am kind of caught off guard. I did not know that there was a partial lunar eclipse. So, let's see here. Here we go. Let's see what it's showing here for the time. So it looks like, okay, oh, that's not easy. That's not. Okay. Oh, here we go. Local time in red. Here we go. Okay. There it is. Okay. So it will happen. Maximum eclipse will be 7:44 p.m. 7:44 p.m. is when that eclipse will be. So let's take a look at 7:44 p.m. on Tuesday. No. Yeah, is it Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday. 7:44 p.m. And here we go. Oh, that's not looking good, is it? So if you want to check out the eclipse, 7 p.m. on Tuesday, not looking very promising. Nope. Doesn't look like that's going to happen for us, folks. So there's the answer to your question. A long, long and drawn out answer to that question here. But 7:44, let's even take it to 8 p.m. I mean, yeah, it's not looking good, folks. So we're kind of at the tail end of that storm system kind of coming on in. And that's one of the reasons why. So for those of you just kind of checking in, maybe watching, we had a question here. I'll put it back up here for you. We had a question saying, what about the partial eclipse? Doesn't look like we're going to be able to see it. We may have a few breaks in the clouds for short periods of time, but I wouldn't count on at this point seeing the partial eclipse. But be sure to check in again tomorrow morning. And we'll, of course, have the latest forecast and take a look at the cloud forecast for you. And we'll kind of talk about that in a little bit more detail as well. In fact, I'll write a note to myself to remind myself to give you a little bit more details on the partial eclipse. And we'll kind of go into that. But yeah, interesting. Again, we don't want to go into too much about it, right? Because it'll be kind of a waste of time talking about it when we can't even see it. Probably won't be able to see it. So that's a bit of a bummer out there. Ooh, we got an interesting from Deborah Ann saying, good morning from Scott Valley, about 4/10 of an inch of rainfall in Etna. Let's see what my rain gauge, or at least the rain gauge that I had seen and got a report from, was showing for Etna. Only about 800ths? No. That's forecast. Hold on. Give me a second here. Let's take a look. Not bad. Yeah. Hey, that matches it with what you saw. Thank you for the report, by the way, Deborah Ann. It looks like there's Etna. And the rain gauge that I was looking at had Etna getting about 4,600ths of an inch of rainfall. So yeah, pretty close to what you saw. I love it when we have this accuracy of level of people showing their rain gauges and then some of the rain gauges I look at. And it's pretty close here. So that's looking pretty good there. So there you go. All right, folks, let's, what do you say we call it a morning and wrap things up here this morning? I want to thank everybody for chiming in this morning and checking everything out and taking a look at the forecast. And of course, as you know, I've got the forecast today updated at 6 o'clock in the morning. I also do a neighborhood forecast, particular just for each neighborhood. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to take you to weathernorcal.com. And then see on the very top here where it says Valley, Trinity County, North Coast, those are the neighborhood forecasts. And you can go to those just to get for those particular areas. Here's a visual representation. So if you go to the Valley, here's the cool part. Every morning I record a special forecast just for the Valley. I record a special forecast once a day in the morning just for Trinity County, the North Coast, Siskiyou County. So if you're heading out to any of those areas, you can get a specific forecast for those neighborhoods. You can, if you live in that area or if you're just going there. It's a great resource, something for you to check out. I mean, this is what I'm trying to do here with Weather NorCal. I'm trying to give you as many resources as you can and spread that out. So you can also see in the upper right-hand corner when you go to the home page here. You go to the home page, look what happens. You've got the forecast there. You can also click on forecast videos and you'll get the forecast there. You can also, you go to the home page and you can get the 24-hour streaming channel right there. All of this, by the way, available on the free Weather NorCal app. If you're watching Coffee with Krueger and you happen to miss it and you're going, oh, I missed it, I want to watch Coffee with Krueger, you can, because I'm recording this as we speak and you can watch the latest Coffee with Krueger, which, of course, is, as of right now, is Friday morning. But once I'm done with this, the recording will be done and I'll be able to upload it to the website and to YouTube in general. So be sure to check that information out as well. So I just wanted to kind of give you some insight on that to let you know that I do have a lot of great resources, a lot of great information here for you. For those of you that just may be checking in and don't really know a whole lot of what's going on here with Weather NorCal. Just want to make sure that you got that information. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and wrap up the show with Lake Oroville. That is going to do it. How much rain did Corning, California get? Well, what, I did have it in, I just had that up. Let's see here. Corning saw, look at that, almost 7/10 of an inch of rainfall. So there you go. That should have answered your question. All right, good. I'm glad we got that up there for you. That's going to do it for us this morning. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger, right in early at 7 a.m. Have yourselves a great day.